Hi, I'm Michael Nagy, host of Prime Barrel Chronicles, wrapping up another epic week of barrel picking. And today we're going out with a bang. I'm joined by Bill Binder of Binder Stash. Super stoked to meet you, sir. Heard a lot about you, saw a lot about you, and now we're here.
Most of it's true.
Mostly journalistic reviews. Why don't you tell us what we're going to be doing here today?
Well, obviously announcing our partnership with Willet a few months ago. I'm excited for you guys to try 4 different SKUs, 2 different samples per SKU, all Willet, different rick houses, different mash bills, all experimental. Stuff is actually wild on the palate.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. You see the color. It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right, let's get to it.
Yep.
So what do we have here?
So we have 4 SKUs, 2 barrel samples from each SKU. How I like to do barrel picks or tastings, I like to go based off palate from lightest to, blow your head off, basically, as you could see with the color. Not necessarily, good to bad, because this is all great juice. We have different, I have a different cooperage here. I have 2 different cooperages. I have one different cooperage here. And like I said, these are all experimental, Willet experimentals, ranging between 6 and 8, 9 years old. The first sample that we're going to do, the first sample that we're going to do for the tasting. This is Canton cooperage. Now, these are 79-gallon barrels. So this is actually a wine barrel, but all these experimentals, they aren't finished. This is all aged in whatever they put it, whatever it's in, that's what's aged. I love the fact that these samples, they have all the info on it. Floor 1, warehouse I, north right rick, 12th spot. Like, they know exactly where the barrel is. So obviously you're talking, floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, well, 1 and 2, you're getting more water evaporation than alcohol, so you might get a higher yield. Whereas when you go above floor 3, 4, 5, and then in warehouse I think they have 6 and 7. Where the water's going to evaporate faster than the alcohol, so it tends to be a little bit higher proof with a little bit less yield. Now, Binder Stash, I don't care about yields. Obviously, everybody wants to be successful and make money, but I base everything solely off palate and flavor. Like, I would rather sell you 90 bottles in a barrel that taste immaculate than $190 or 190 bottles that are like, oh, this is okay. But we're just selling it because, we want to sell it. So we're all about flavor here.
So Bill, as we are going to be nosing and tasting and basically mentally collecting our thoughts, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in this business, like your history, your story, I should say. You were telling us off camera about your move to Florida. I think people will love to hear that.
Oh, well, I came up. I went to college in Philly, Philly Textiles in Fairmount Park.
No birds.
I came home in '99. I actually came home in '99, and I got my first bartending gig was at TGI Fridays. I mean, like red and white striped shirt with the suspenders and the flare, all that shit. Yeah, everything, all the flair. You have 16 pieces of flair. Yeah, I had like 40. Yeah. I was on top of that flair game.
Another guy.
Yeah. You get into the bartending thing, and bartending's got so out of control now, and I'm glad I did it when I did it, because we got into the resurgence of the mixology and the craft of it in the mid 2000s and the early teens, and then it just all went to shit after that. Now it's just ridiculous again. But regardless, I went from bartending to doing seminars on spirits. I mean, I could talk to you for an hour about absinthe. Even today, I can't remember if I put deodorant on when I get out of it. When I put deodorant on and leave the bathroom, and then I'll look. I did it yesterday morning. I looked at my dog. Did I just put deodorant on? It's like that. But I could tell you that we'll talk about absinthe for an hour, or gin, or freaking Geneva, or like any of that stuff. So I did that, and then I did consulting, and then I physically built bars and bar programs and whiskey programs, and did bartenders guilds, spoke, to that. And I kind of honed my palate down to, because like this all tastes great, but then it's like after you taste a bunch, like okay, well, what do I really like, and then what do I really want to do, and I left bartending in 2018, and we shot the first season of Binder Stash, the TV show that's not really out yet because writer strikes and COVID and wildfires and you name it. But anything, if there was a plague or a flood, I would have been like, okay, we're complete, like everything and anything in this entire world. But we went around, 16 states at 32 different locations, everywhere from South Florida down to up to Park City, Utah.
What was the premise of the show?
I was Anthony Bourdain of whiskey. I went around the entire country and I sat there and I drank with head distillers and owners of great bars. Like Bill Thomas was one of my first segments, and Jack Rose, and it was a great experience. It was an absolutely great experience. So then after that, we came back. We were all done, and everything and anything under in the universe happened, and then COVID hit, and I actually wanted to. I picked 3 barrels of Willet in 2019. It was 9-year. They were high rye from Heaven Hill, and they went viral. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I'm going to pick more barrels. Let's do this.
When you picked the barrel, did you pick it for your own brand, or did you pick it for someone, like for a store or a bar
Nope.
or whatever?
Picked it for not my own brand, but
just for yourself.
For myself, with a group of great guys as well. And they went viral. And I wasn't going back to bartending. I'm not taking a step back, and I was too old at that point. And I was 38. I'm 45 now. I'm definitely
Look
not
good for
doing that.
45.
Thanks.
I'll be 50.
Yeah, there you go. I presented the situation to a couple buddies of mine down in Florida, that some of my closest friends, and they're like, well, why don't you start your own brand? You call it Binder Stash Whiskey, and go buy 12 barrels and bottle it and see where it goes. Why don't you start a business? I need a business proposition, a business program. No problem. I got that. I got in the car and I was like, I've been a bartender for 20 years. I don't know shit about business. I don't know anything about it. So I called my partner now. I said, hey man, you're the guy. You're the finance and the business guy. You do all this business stuff and let me go sell. Let me just be the IP and I'll sell. And he's also a big whiskey guy as well. So it worked out. We were good friends and business partners.
Still are to this day.
Still are, yeah.
Okay.
And one thing led to another, and here we are. And I became really good friends with Drew Colsbein. We have the same birthday, and
That certainly helped.
we both play golf, and he was on our board of directors. When we first started, and his name's Drew, and my partner's name is Drew. So in the beginning, it was really funny. I would text my partner, but I was actually texting. I was like, Jesus, the label company, the freaking, the glassware. And he's like, wrong, Drew Colson is like, wrong, Drew. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. He's like, no. This is hilarious to me. Keep on sending me these messages. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So he's been in the back, helping us until, a few months ago. We had lunch and he asked me what my projected barrel sales were this year. And I said, I can sell about 1,000 of them if I had the juice, but it's really hard to get juice. I mean, it wasn't really hard to get juice, but it's the stuff that I wanted. Quality, yeah. I'm not going to get a 15-year buff turkey because it's a 15-year buff turkey, and I'm going to put it in the bottle and be like, this is a 15-year buff turkey. The stuff that I tasted, although some of them might have been okay, they weren't up to my standards. And I don't know how that sounds to all you, but I have standards. Not much for anything, but my girlfriend, I have standards, and my whiskey, I have standards, and my golf game. That's about it.
But I'm happy to hear that. Selfishly, we've done a few buff turkeys. People went gaga over them. They were actually pretty good barrels. But if yours are better, I'm stoked to be here today.
But I mean, I don't know if they're better or not because everybody has their own palate and everybody has their own opinion. And I don't knock anybody for I'm not going to be like, this tastes like crap. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not how whiskey works. That's why it's so great. Everybody's got their own palate and their own opinion. What's dog food to some people might be freaking the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow to others, and you can't wrong anybody for that.
I mean, as we get into it, I'll ask you, what is your palate, and what do you look for when you pull those samples for people? And do you look for different profiles? Do you have your own profile, and all of those four sort of like speak to you? We'll get into that, but like before we get into that, like so, I think you kind of glossed over your relationship with Drew, and I think a lot of people would like to know, within reason. You don't need to disclose all of your secrets, but I think if anything, you're really successful in building. I'll call it what it is, a premium brand, right? And so I know a lot of people are trying to do that. Not everybody's as successful. Some people fail miserably. Without diverging, I guess, too much of a know-how, what would you say worked for you?
Being honest, just being myself. I curse a lot, and I apologize.
As
for
do
that.
I. That's a sign of an intellect, actually.
I curse a lot. I apologize for that. I'm not going to change my. I'm not the chameleon. I am who I am, and people like it or that people don't. And if they don't, I don't disrespect them. I'm not disrespectful at all. I'm an Italian from New Jersey, and my mom's 4'11", and she'll beat the crap out of me to this day. I'm a foot taller than my mother, and I got about 120 pounds on her, and I'm still scared to death of her. But that's being a child of 1980. The 80s. You get respect beat into you. So you always respect everybody, and if people don't like you, people don't like you, and you move on. Sorry, hey, didn't work. But that's basically what I do. I am who I am, and I think it's important, especially in this business, because it builds character, and people respect you more. Yeah. And I just want to learn. I was sneaking old granddad bottle and bond from my grandfather's liquor cabinet in 1986. Needless to say, and funny enough, 1982 old granddad might be my favorite bottle in the history of the world, bottle and bond, the National Distiller stuff. So that's a profile that I chase. That National Distillers 1982 old granddad bottle and bond, big butterscotch bombs that are higher in proof. One, because I'm not really a big fan of proofing down. I feel like what's in the barrel is exactly what it should be. There are obviously some cases where you proof down because it might work out better. You put some water in it, it might taste better. I like the gusto. Whatever's in there, that's what's in there. And I think that just gives you the full potential of what whiskey is. But again, I like mouthfeel. Viscosity is very important to me. I don't like thin whiskey. You get these shelfers, and I'm biased now. I used to do, whiskey reviews on the golf course, and I can't now because I'm biased. Because God forbid I have opinion about another whiskey brand, and it's like, oh, you just own your whiskey brand.
Just filling yours, yeah.
Yeah, so I put it to the side. I laid that to rest. But mouthfeel is very important to me. Viscosity, I don't like thin whiskey. I also like a balanced palate. Now you get, the sweet on the front, you get your earthy tones, the leathers and the minerality in the middle. And then on the back end, that's where you get your baking spices, whatever rye content you have, and then the oak, and then the linger, the Kentucky hug. Yeah. I call it the in your cage, the warmth in the cage right here. That's very important to me. There's very few times where you get, those four together, and then all of a sudden the fifth and like the final boss of your tasting palate is the sides, where your tongue starts tingling. That right there is like, this is it for me. Like it got hit all five checkpoints.
Do you chew whiskey? Like we were doing tasting a couple of days ago, and somebody taught me to chew it. I've never done it before, but like there's something to it, I guess.
I don't really chew it. I tend to put a half an ounce in my beard every morning after I get out of the shower. That's about the closest I come to chewing something, but other than tasting it, yeah. But so these Cantons, these 15, so it's either Canton or Canton. It's depending on where you're from. I was in, the bar business, so Canton ginger liqueur. I just call it Canton Cooperage. People yell at me for it. I don't care. So 79-gallon barrels. Canton, that wood is very, very high end. This is one of the higher end cooperages. Very expensive wood. Very, very good. Warehouse I, floor one. So you're going to get a lot of, not a lot. You're going to get more alcohol evaporation than water. It tends to be, the 79-gallon barrel, it's going to be a big yield anyway. So that being said, this is a very refined palate. It's not wham, wham, wham. It's very subtle from the front to the back. It might linger a little bit. It's got good thickness to it. I say that I can drink this while eating a steak. You know what I mean? You smoke a lighter cigar with this, obviously. If you smoke a full body cigar, like you're gonna drown this out.
We have our own little system, which I will clue you on, but it's just a guideline. It's not an end all be all. But basically, like we rate every sample on 3 different categories: it's a nose, palate, finish, scale 0 to 10, and tabulate the scores. And then we use that as a guideline for discussion. Much more important to us is actually qualitative stuff. Like why do you like it? Why do you don't like it?
Right. And obviously, big proponent on, taste and smell.
Yeah.
I'd rather it taste great and smell. Okay. So it's like you're so disappointed and it's like sad when you smell something, to smell a whiskey, you're like, oh my God, this is going to be ridiculous. And then all of a sudden you taste it and you're like, well, it's not ridiculous.
Speaking about brand building, you were telling us a story about your logo creation. You mind repeating that?
So it's like 2017. I was that was the last bar that I ever built. The whiskey program, blah blah blah. All that stuff. And we were talking about doing the show, but we weren't really sure about it. Like, well, you need a logo, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? What am I gonna do? And obviously, being a child from the '80s, it's like growing up on Saturday morning, you watch Thundercats, and I was. Right? You see it now.
As soon as you said it, I
see Thundercats.
Yeah.
So the line cook, the saute guy, he was a tattoo artist. I walked in on a Friday night into the expo window, and I said, "Hey man, I need you to just do this for me and keep the neck open." And he's like, "Get out of my line! It's Friday night. I got 30 expo tickets. Fire this. Blah blah blah." So he actually did it. He actually got into an accident. He got hurt, and then he couldn't come back to work. And then one of my barbacks, he is a very well-known street artist, so wall art, tagger, graffiti. It's past graffiti. Like people tag murals, and he's amazing. So he actually finished it for me, and this is what happened. So this is kind of like the ruler of, oh, your beard's getting a little long, you don't want to redo the logo. So this is where I keep it. But yeah, it took about a year. It's the craziest part was the mustache, believe it or not. The most minuscule thing on this whole logo is the mustache. We had the one that like went around like that. I was like, absolutely not. And then one that went down. I was like, you can't even see that I have one. Like we fought over it. Like, come on, it's just a fucking mustache. Just go like this and just make it like that. So, yeah. That's how the logo came about.
All right, let's talk about these for a second. Yeah, you want to start us off real quick?
Yeah, I sure can. I'm interested as I look at the color variation to taste through the rest of these. For these two, I think my preference was the second one, Barrel 41166. For me, it had a more complex palate. It started with raisin, which was kind of interesting.
Yep.
The finish was very long. I got hot cinnamon from it. I liked the first one. I liked them both. But if I had to pick one of the two, I would choose the second one.
I mean, I'm looking at Matt because we have a contrarian in the group, or I shouldn't say contrarian. The beauty of the Prime Barrel, which is what our club is called, is that we do everything as a group, and so like you're trying to negotiate many different palettes, and as you do it more and more and more, you start to pick up on what people like, what people don't like. So like when I look at him and I pick up some facial expressions, and I kind of know what you're gonna go with, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm with you. I like number 2. I like both of them. Almost equally. Like I scored them equally, actually. It's just the second one is more savory to me, and the first one is more delicate, if you want to call it that. First time I went through the nose, I actually picked up like a weird smoked meat on the second one. It's not there now, as it stood in the glass. But I've gotten some like roasted chestnut, and it was a little bit sweeter of the two. The first one is a little bit more spicier, but very well integrated. It's beautiful. It lands well. There's no drop off. Like if you look at it as a chart, right? You don't want to have that. You want to have this. And so they both do have that. So they're both fantastic expressions. Like I mean, I don't think score is going to matter today, but I scored them highly, both of them. So I like them both equally. If I had to pick one, I would go with 2. Francisco?
I like the second one a lot because of the complexity. The first one had a really great long finish, and it had exactly what we were talking about with the tonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like full palate finish. Yeah. So I love that. They're kind of the same for me. I could go either way. Yeah.
I can also say this, and this is a little off topic, but maybe on topic. I've tried a lot of bullets over time. Was really never a big fan. It was just hot for me. Most of them were hot. But when you find something that really speaks to you, it's really magic. And so that is in that second category. And we've done, earlier this year, we've done a 14-year-old pick. Obviously sourced distillate, but it was fantastic, right? So when you find that gem, it could be just magic, which I understand why people, flock to it and seek out certain barrels. Like it's a whole, community of fans. Right? But exactly.
95 series is my favorite.
Okay.
95X.
I'll have to look for that one.
Francisco, you said you could go either way if you had to force rank it.
Yeah, what would it
Which
be?
one do you pick?
We kind of need to eliminate one of these.
Yeah.
I got to go with one just because that finish is just still
Okay.
on my mind.
All right. So 2, 1. Okay. I feel like Tom's going to be a tiebreaker, but go ahead.
No, he's not. Actually,
Oh.
I agree with both of you guys over there.
Oh, damn. That never happens. All right.
And I scored the second one, 6-6, 8 across the board, which I hardly know ever gets 8s on anything.
He's a Russian judge.
Yeah. Yeah. I picked up some cherries when I nosed it. That automatically goes to, kind of what I like, that slight, because it's light burn, slight oak in the palate. And to me, it was spicy. To me, it had a better finish. To me, it's a longer finish. Than the first one kept lingering it into my throat, slightly into the chest. So I liked it. I scored 1 well too in the 7s, but I like number 2 a lot better.
Wow.
It's better.
All right. What a start. All right.
Okay.
Don?
2 is my preferred as well. I thought they were both very close, though. I got a little bit more sweetness, a little more complexity off the second one. But to be honest, I was struggling to pick out notes on both of these, I think, because I'm still too close to my Starbucks mocha from this morning. So,
Order.
yeah, I'm going to finish working on the palate here, getting it warmed up again.
But I mean, dude, this is a fantastic start. Like, if this is a sign of what's to come, I'm stoked. Yeah.
So you want me to? I'll pull.
So let's do this, right? So we are agreeing on number 2 as being our favorite, right? All right. So we're eliminating 1. So we're eliminating 4168, and we're sticking 4166. So that advances to the second round.
This is going to be a high corn mash bill. This is just turned 6 years old. So this barrel is an ISC barrel, but this is char 1. Okay. So it's a very light char. I'm not sure what the barrel head is. I haven't really gotten into that. We're going to do our own contract distilling through Willet, and I'm trying to come up with my mash bill and the char and the level of toast on the barrel head. It's another thing. I stay up with insomnia and stare at the ceiling and just have all the numbers on the ceiling. It's like I get like 2 hours of sleep.
We had a combo with someone who is, I would call a mad scientist within the community, and he produces some fantastic whiskey himself. He said, here we go. He said something that kind of stuck with me. He said, "There's no bad mash bill.
No.
You can't really screw up mash bill."
Nope.
Which is interesting. So as they're doing it, how did you get hooked up with Drew? Like, when did you guys meet, and how did the friendship develop?
We met when I filmed there.
Okay.
In 2018. Everybody get
I think
one.
I saw that episode.
Oh, this
actually.
is 2.
No, that's the first
That's first one. He's got number 2.
I think I saw that episode. It's the one where you like open like a warehouse with the keys. And he's
That's
behind.
Warehouse C.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we filmed the TV show first, and then he was like, "You want to do barrel pick?" I said, "Yeah," and then we came back, and we filmed. That was just a YouTube thing. We partied, and then my partner and I, who's also friends with Drew, we were just coming back and forth from Kentucky, and built a relationship, and eventually played some golf. And just kept on talking, and here we are.
I mean, as always is in life, it's all about relationships, and like what friendships and relationships you can cultivate, and that just speaks to it. We were yesterday speaking to Mark Carter, that basically said the exact same thing. It's all about relationships. Yeah.
Now we do things differently now with proofs. Obviously, our last company we were working for with labels, we had to do the proof. We had to send in the information that are going to go on the label, and they roll it off, and then 3 weeks later we put it on the barrel, and you just sit there and because they got to proof it again before they put it on the barrel, and you're like, just don't be in that. You need that variance, and if it's after that variance, then you got to do it all over again. But now with Willet and the new logistics and all the hundreds of people that work there, they do it different. We're obviously going to do it their way. They proof it when they put it in the barrel or when they put it in the bottle. So now we're running off blanks, and we bought a printer, and now we're going to print all the information as they bottle it.
Are you going to change your bottle shape, sizes, nothing?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
How did you come up with that? It looks good, but how did you come up with that?
The
The label, the design, the bottle
label,
shape,
design.
all of that.
We went back and forth. We wanted to be very, very classy and not loud. I can't really speak on why I think loud is whatever I think it is because I can't anymore. You know, I did big seminars about consumer confusion. Like the more eloquent and outlandish the packaging is, and that's on anything. You know, it's not just whiskey. It could be on freaking meat. Like, wow, like pay attention to this because we're trying to sell you that. Right. You know what I mean? So we wanted to keep it classy, elegant, obviously, ultra premium, black and gold. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, especially matte black? And then you see the texturized part of, that's my beard. They took a picture of my beard and we put it on the label. I did not know that. Yeah. So like the whole thing is like, oh yeah, when you're like holding a bottle of Binder Stash, it's like you got your Bill's beard in your hand. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, but okay, we'll run with it.
Well, it's better than having their hand around the neck.
Yeah, which may or may not, which may or may not have happened in the past.
Define where hair came from.
It's just the beard.
I feel like these are both bombs, just candy bombs. So I can't speak on what these proofs are. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. If you like it, you like it. For me, proof is I could just drink this much of this proof and then this much of that proof, which is usually the higher the proof goes, the less I drink and the less I get yelled at. So.
In my head, I inadvertently go back to that second one we just picked and compared that to this, which is not fair. Yeah. Completely different things. But.
They're both fantastic.
Yes. All right. Who wants to go first? Okay.
Yeah, I love both of these. Very, very different profiles than the first pair we looked at based upon the different mash bills. Both of these are outstanding, so I'm really splitting hairs in choosing a favorite. On the first barrel, I was just blown away by the nose. I love the palate, love the finish. On the second one, pretty much the same, but I did find some differences that made me prefer the first barrel, 38351. I found a sweet nose, and the palate was just sweet as candy, just enjoyable and delicious, and just kind of unrolled and unfurled itself. The second one was, I found to be softer and gentler, but very similar. And for the reason that it was softer and gentler, my favorite was the one that just spoke to me with a little more power and passion.
I see what you did there. And normally you and I aligned on pretty much anything. Not this time though. I do like them. Again, same thing as the first set. Love them both almost equally, but there are differences. This one is a candy bomb. It is. It's sweet on the nose, sweet on the palate, sweet on the finish. You got popcorn, all of those. Like when I was drinking, nosing it, I took me back to Jersey Shore and all of those boardwalks and whatnot. Yeah, right, that. This one, to me, the second one is a bit more. It has a more of a darker note, which I gravitate to. Like I gravitate to like brown sugars, figs, molasses. Like that's my kind of jam. And while they're both sweet, the second one has a bit more of that. Again, splitting hairs. Happy with either one of them. If I had to force rank it, 2 would be my choice. Francisco.
Come back to me.
All right.
I'm
Mr. Matt.
Yeah, it's very different, very slight difference. I'm gonna go with, if I had to pick barrel 2, the second pick, to me it had a more cherry jam, it in the nose and it in the palate, and I like the finish just a little bit more. We're splitting hairs. They're cuts so raised, so. But I gravitated a little bit more. I wanted to continue to drink number 2 a little bit more, so I'd probably go 2-1.
So the first one is if the first one is like a dessert whiskey almost. Yeah.
Sweet caramel corn. Yeah.
The hell's gonna freeze over today? Like 2 for 2, you and I.
Yeah, that's not.
That doesn't happen. Don?
Either one of these are winners.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All of these.
Oh yeah.
I'm on board with 2 as well.
Right.
I I really enjoyed the nose on both of them. One was a little bit more caramel, the other was a little more cotton candy. I really liked the palate on both as well. I did get some more dark fruits on the second one, which I liked a lot. And I also thought the finish was a bit longer.
Yeah.
The first one, I really enjoyed the finish, but as I was chatting with Bill here, I got some rye on the first finish that surprised you, especially when I heard that it was 11% rye. That's low on the rye side, but it still had kind of that finish, which I don't dislike at all. I'm a huge rye fan, but for me, the balance was in the second pot.
Okay. All right.
You kind of said it. I was thinking what the not great balance overall, and then a long finish.
So we're unanimous on the second one this time around, right? Oh, almost. Sorry.
But I did love it. I mean, I
Yeah,
have no
yeah.
misgivings about the second one.
Okay. All right. So we have our winner from the second set. Cool.
Very
Moving along.
Very excited about these, gentlemen. These next two are. No, I wish that'd be amazing. 18A08. January 8th, 2018 was when these were barreled. So they just turned, do math, 7? Just turned 7. These are 4 grains.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Yes, this is 55 corn, 12 rye, 18 wheat, and 15 malted barley. I mean, I'm a rye fan. But, what if I do like a high rye content, like something wild, like, I mean, not wild, but 51 corn, 40 rye, and then 9 malt barley. So you just get that sweet in the front and then the baking spice in the back from the rye. And then it's like, well, what if we do a weeder? But, with weeders, you tend to you wait a little bit longer on those.
Do you see Binder Stash being a part of the Willett's umbrella, as in their brand?
No.
Their owning brand?
No,
yours.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a partnership,
Okay.
And we had to not redo our entire label, but, the wording on the back. And so we're still going to source, obviously. Like, there's stuff out there that I still want.
Okay, that sounds.
Yeah, we're still going to source. We're gonna age it all there,
Right.
which is great. Because I mean, whatever they put in the barrel is magic that comes out of any of those warehouses anyway. But yeah, so the source stuff is going to say bottled by Willett 4, and then this stuff that's Willett Distilled will be distilled and bottled by Willett Distillery.
I'll say this. I think it's important to know what you like and what you don't like as a whiskey drinker. And this just reinforces it. Like 4 grain is just my jam. Like I just like 4 grain.
4 grain's great. You get everything, man. You just get everything, and I'm getting everything on this palate. Everything from front to back. You taste every single element in this mash bill.
Yeah.
Very big fan of. Actually, number 1 is one. If you like that little kick in the back of the throat, number 2 is the one to go with.
Wow. Especially after holding some water in my mouth for a moment and then coming back to it, just opening up so many more flavors.
I feel like a theme here. Like in every set so far, one was a little bit more delicate than the second one. Both great. It's just the second one has a little bit more punch, oomph. That's a good word. Oomph to it. This one is super delicate, super easy sipping. All of these flavors are present in the first one as well as the second one. It just depends on what your preference is. Like if you want that whiskey. And another thing, and we did this yesterday as well. When we do the pick, do you know when these are getting bottled? Are we flexible with that at all or no?
Flexible as in
like when they get
later in time or
later, yeah. They don't have to be. If you need to do them now,
no.
that's fine.
I have about after today, probably going to be right around 37 barrels in queue. But what's that? It'll take 10 days to do that.
Question.
If it comes in the fall, right, you want more of a savory notes in your whiskey. If it's a summer whiskey, you want it to be a bit more lighter. It really depends on when you're going to drink it. So
Of course, and
So-
when it's bottled too.
right. So far, all the seconds to me are more wintry, very savory whiskeys. The first ones are more like a summer spring. But right now I'm splitting hairs. I could be equally happy with either one.
I like to make these decisions tough.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All right, Gary, ready?
I am.
All right.
So we score on those palate and finish. There's a total of 6 numbers here, right?
Yes.
2 times 3. Michael always refers to me as the Russian judge because I'm a low scorer.
He's a Russian judge now. Exactly.
But he will be after this. The 3 of my 6 numbers are 8s.
Yeah, but never
I've
happened.
got 2 7 5s and I've got a 7. I mean, these are just phenomenal fours. I really, really love what's going on with both of these. But there has to be a favorite, and I picked the second one, barrel 32117. This was close to perfection for me. It was sweet. It was complex. It's like dessert in a glass. I could not find a flaw with this one. I gave a 7.5 on the nose and an 8 for both the palate and the finish. This is just an outstanding, exemplary barrel.
Absolutely. I'll add on to what you just said. We've done over 130 selections so far. Very rarely, I can't remember any that were scored 9. 2, the Four Roses I think were scored 9, and that was pretty much, it was 16-year-old Four Roses I mean. But most of them, it's 7, 7.5, and that becomes a selection. It's still very good. You know, these are, he says 8s, like that just doesn't happen. So that's a compliment. Totally agree with you. 2 is great. What I love about the 2, my palate doesn't really do well with like over oak stuff. When there's too much oak, too much tannins, like I don't like it.
It's not balanced.
This doesn't have any of that, but it has very balanced oak. So 2 is number 1. Like 2 is clearly my preference.
Not they were both awesome. But I felt like the, I mean, that might be my favorite. Then I should all Steve like,
On A? Oh, no, on the first one, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So 1 is for you. 2,
One's
okay.
for me.
All right, fine.
Yeah, I feel like either one. I scored all these in the 4s.
Get out.
I'm seriously like
Communicated.
kick him out of the.
Yeah, two's to me it's a little oaky, not too much. I like it. Long finish. I liked a little spicy. I like number 2 a lot better. No nose on it as well. I would go with 2.
All right.
I'd actually like one better of the 2.
Okay.
I'd be totally fine with either. One of the things I liked about one, it just reminded me like one of those ones where I could just sit there and nose it for an hour and a half.
Yeah, for
Sip
sure.
it, and then once I sip it, hold it in my mouth, and not swallow.
There are a lot of people that like that part is very important to them.
Yeah, nosing's for me.
Yeah, it was great from start to finish. The second one was definitely a little punchier, a little spicier, and that's kind of why my comment about the time of year came into play. Is I could see how that would be play out more in the winter time.
So I think 2 is the yeah. So we got 3-2 so far. All right.
Okay, so this is another weeder. This is an American whiskey. This is a 9-year. Well, this one is a 9-year, 65-20, 20 wheat, 15 malted barley. That's aged in French oak. Obviously, it can't be called bourbon because it's not American oak. So this is American whiskey in French oak. That's where you get
That's the only difference. It was Asian French oak.
aged in
not
French
American
oak. That's where you get the color from.
Otherwise, it meets all of
Go
the
ahead.
standards of
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, well, it's 65-20. It's a wheat.
I mean,
so
that color.
There's no rye
it's
in this.
insane.
Has anybody had the Maker's Mark French oak?
Yes. The red label?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Dude, I like it.
Better than Maker's?
Look at that color. Look close up on that color.
And that's in a
Yeah, color's incredible.
And that's in a an ass pocket bottle right there. Can you imagine what it'd be like at a 750? You know what I mean?
who's got which.
Super earthy.
I just want to get a picture of those two side by side. I mean, that color.
All right, these are different.
This is barrel 1 over here.
These
This is 2.
this is 2. Yeah, the lower number 41 is 1, 45 is 2. These tend to be winemakers or wine people. This is a wine person's whiskey. Obviously, the French oak, you get a lot of earth in these. This is definitely different than anything that we've tasted today. It's heavier. You get a lot of dark fruit. Yeah.
I don't normally like wine.
I was just gonna say that. As much as I don't like wine finishes, this is fantastic. This is good.
Let's pick the best one of this.
All right, let's do that first.
And
Yeah.
then have the
And I'm not
conversation.
there.
I can say what mine. They're all like I have hard time doing it, but if I had to pick up, it'd probably 4 grain. Like that. That's just my
same
thing.
here. Same.
That's just my thing.
If we were just
You?
doing that.
What do you like the best?
The third sample?
I like the first sample.
The first set, you like it the best overall?
1B. That's
1B,
the
yeah.
highest. Yeah.
Did you?
Do you want to do it side by side, 1B
would be interested in that.
and 3B?
That's fine. Okay.
So let's do
I
it.
mean, this is
I'm
good.
on the
This time
ones
when I
I
drink
was-
this,
Right.
this is Maker's Mark.
Right.
This one.
I don't think it's Maker's Mark.
This one to me is the PFG that we tasted the other day at Michter's. That's what this is.
Yeah. Yes,
totally
yes.
right away.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what this is.
But I would say this is
love
better.
French oak.
But I think this is better
Yes.
than PFG.
Yes.
This
it's
is what's
different.
crazy to me
It's got
is
more of a
I
wine
feel like
characteristic
to it. The PFG
didn't have.
Correct.
I thought the PFG was
Correct.
more strict.
This fourth pick, keep in mind, this is the same mash bill as the first one we tried.
Oh wow.
65 2015.
They're both
A
weeded. They're both
a
weeded.
whiskey, a weeded bourbon. The difference is this one is
In French oak, the other
years
one.
older,
Yeah.
and it was aged in French oak.
That's right.
This is 3 years older. And
That's
was
right.
Aged in French oak.
That's right.
I love the French oak.
Oh, this is a
I'm a
9-year-old?
big
No,
fan.
That's right.
I would
This
definitely want.
this one's already 9.
It's already 9. I'm enjoying this, but
Yeah, I would.
This is not
I'd
an
love a
everyday
bottle
whiskey.
of
This is like
Yeah.
impress your friends, give them something different,
Or a special
talk
occasion.
about it. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
The prior 3,
Very,
you can
very unique.
you can crush them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I'll say. Let's figure out the one we like the best.
4 grains like blow me away.
So hold on a second. Hold on. I'll get back to yours. 4 grain. Which one is your selection? So he is an outlier. He likes the French oak
But I love the 4 grain. 4 grains is
as well.
spectacular.
Okay, you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's number 1 choice. All right, guys, this is what it's all about. When we started Prime Barrel, it was always about friendships, and I feel like I have 5 friends in this room. I feel like I have a lot more that are going to be watching it and are going to be joining us next time. But this has been an epic week, from Buffalo Trace to Pinhook to Glen Creek to Oakley to Elijah Craig, Heaven Hill. I've never done a pick there. This was amazing. And this is definitely a highlight of this week, which is saying something, right? So I am thankful for you guys for being here. I'm thankful for everyone else who's supporting us. I'm looking forward to more of these. Oh, Mark Carter, I forgot. How can I forget him? Anyway, cheers to you. It wouldn't be possible without you, and I'm looking forward to season 2. Fantastic.